Good morning. This is the time and place for the zoning administrator's hearing for March 4, 2009. My name is Edith Fuentes and I will be conducting the hearing as hearing officer. We have one case today and relevant exhibits are posted on the panels located directly behind me. Let me just quickly go through our hearing procedure. Under the provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30 of the Glendale Municipal Code, a variance shall be granted if four required findings are present. 1. That the strict application of the ordinance would result in practical difficulties or unnecessary hardship, inconsistent with the general purposes and intent of the ordinance. 2. That there are exceptional circumstances or conditions applicable to the property involved or to the intended use or development of the property that do not apply generally to other property in the same zone or neighborhood. 3. That the granting of the variance will not be materially detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to the property or improvements in such zone or neighborhood in which the property is located. And 4, that the granting of the variance will not be contrary to the objectives of the ordinance. If the evidence presented in the application and at the hearing meets the criteria just described, then the zoning administrator can either approve or impose conditions for approval on the case in question. If the findings of fact are not evident, then the request will be denied. Notification of this hearing was accomplished by the use of public notices which were mailed to property owners located within 500 feet of the subject property, physically posted on the site in question, and placed in the local newspaper. The hearing will proceed as follows. I will read the description of the application or the request, and then read reports received from other city departments and other letters or communications from interested parties. The case planner will make a brief presentation or overview of the case and make a recommendation. Then the applicant will be asked to come forward stating both name and address and will be asked to present the case within a 15-minute time limit. Others in support of or in opposition to the application and any interested parties will be asked to come forward to speak. Again, clearly stating both name and address within a 3-minute time limit. Lastly, the applicant will be given the opportunity to make closing comments if desired in response to testimonies given by preceding speakers within a 5-minute time limit. The hearing will be closed and the case taken under submission. After the hearing, the decision will be prepared in writing and will be in the form of a letter sent to the applicant and to all persons who responded to the public notice, either by speaking at this hearing or by submitting written responses and have provided their name and mailing address. I would like to emphasize that the date of the decision will be the date appearing on the letter. Under the appeal provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30 of the Glendale Municipal Code, the decision may be appealed to the Planning Commission within 15 days of the date of the decision. Anyone wishing to appeal may obtain forms and brochures on the procedures from our Building and Safety Section, Permit Services Center, located on the same floor of this building. If you wish to speak, please write your name and address on one of these speaker forms which have been provided by the front door and submit it to our planning assistant. I would like to also inform everyone that the official proceedings of the zoning administrator's hearing are recorded on tape as part of public record. Okay. This case is variance 2008-047. Location is 225 Wonderview Drive, Applicant is ZV Associates, care of Kevin Hayden. Property owner is Lloyd Lynn Core. And this is an application for a standards variance to erect a 6-foot 9-inch retaining wall within a 42-inch railing on top, with a 42-inch railing on top in the front setback area, and to backfill the area to be able to extend the front yard deck 10 feet from the front property line. A note that a new stairway with 42-inch railing within the front setback area is also proposed. Property is located as 225 Wonderview Drive in the R1R District 2 Restricted Residential Zone, described as Lot 20 of tract number 28922. And let me just quickly go through some of the comments we received. From fire prevention, just reminding us or letting us know that this is a high fire hazard area, and the landscaping and permit shall be required per hillside development landscape standards, including the rear slope within 100 feet of the structures. And if you have any questions on some of these comments, you can directly contact those departments just to clarify some of the items. From engineering section, there is a 6-foot easement for planting and public utility purposes along the entire frontage of the property on Wonderview Drive. So no retaining walls or other permanent structures are allowed to be constructed within this easement. The proposed stairway shall be redesigned so that no portion of it encroaches within the easement. The applicant is also or shall be required to provide the city with soils and geological report from a registered soils engineer and geologist indicating all their recommendations pertaining to the stability of the site and adequacy of all structures, including but not limited to the retaining walls, drainage structures, and others. The reason is the site is in the vicinity of earthquake-induced landslide zone. Method of discharge of on-site drainage shall be approved by the city engineer, and separate permits are required for all work within the public right-of-way. Okay, those are all the comments. I don't think we have any communications from interested parties. Nothing. Okay, and with that, I'm going to go to Case Planner Givorg to give us a brief presentation.
Good morning, Ms. Fuentes. Thank you.
Good morning.
Like you mentioned, the proposal is to erect a 6-foot 9-inch retaining wall in the front setback area 10 feet from the property line to be able to extend the deck as well as backfill it and put a 42-inch railing on top. And also a new stairway is being proposed with the proposed project with a 42-inch railing as well. The project is exempt from CEQA and is located in the R1R2 zone. Currently, the site is 14,155 square feet and has a approximately 2,600 square foot house on it. The rear of the lot is extremely steep compared to the front, and that is one of the reasons why we recommend an approval. I would like to mention that there was a variance granted in 1973 to be able to put a pool and fence within 10 feet from the front property line. For some reason, this variance was never completely utilized. So the current request is pretty much the same as it was in 1973. With that, staff will recommend an approval based on the fact that the findings were made in positive manner, and due to the project's small scale, no negative impacts are anticipated by this proposal, and also the fact that this property was granted a variance back in 73, the same exact variance, and also the fact that most of the houses on this street are within 8, 9, or 10 feet from their front property lines, and this will sort of bring them to be consistent with the rest of the close vicinity. That concludes my brief presentation, and the owner, not the applicant, but the owner is in the audience. He will be able to go over the findings.
So is the swimming pool existing?
Yes, that is existing.
And I'm assuming there's also a fence.
There's existing fence
surrounding the
railing,
swim-
yes, and that will be reused, or a new one will be put
They're
up.
just
but
going to
there will
move
still
it
be railing,
forward,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, and I'm going to go through the site plan, the only area that we are talking about would be the hatch area here?
Pretty much, yes.
Here, right?
Yes, and actually the current railing is from between 13.9 to 14.9, 13 feet 9 inches to 14 feet 9 inches from the property line. So the encroachment will be about 3 to 4 up to 5 feet at most.
Now, looking at engineering's question, and I'm going to ask the property owner, they wanted the 6 feet from the front property line backwards to be cleared for that stair. So
Okay, that is a good point, and
otherwise, they may have to secure like an encroachment permit.
yes, that
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, that makes perfect sense. And for another reason is because just yesterday I visited the site again, just before I do that usually before the hearings, and found out that they are going to be required to put a retaining wall that's going to be on the garage's side to hold up the staircase, and that might be higher than what the code allows, and it was not included in their application. It doesn't show up on their elevations or section drawings at the same time. So if the staircase remains as is, they will avoid that issue and not have to worry about putting a retaining wall that doesn't meet code.
Okay.
Because where the staircase is proposed now, or the stairway, it is virtually flat. It's not really a steep slope, so it's not going to be on grade. They're going to have to build a retaining wall to do that.
Okay. And your findings is that all of the 4 findings can be made for this. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, to present the case, Gilbert Curry. Give me your name and address for the record.
This is Gilbert Corey. The address is 225 Wonderview Drive in Glendale, and the zip is 91202.
And you are the property
I am
owner,
the property
current property owner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you owned the property?
5 years.
Okay, good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Almost 5 years. Anyway, regarding the project is pretty much that I have to read the findings, right? Okay. First one, actually, there is 3 workable feet in between the pool and the front railing, and there is no backyard space at all. As you see in the photo over there, it's pretty much a slope, just a hill, and then for fire hazard, they require every single home that lives on the hill to, within certain feet, you gotta clean up the hill from anything grass or anything like that. And so the house is a hill of the backyard, and there is no space for entertainment. So pretty much the only usable space for entertainment is in the front yard. And front yard, like I said before, between the pool and the front railing, there is only about 3 feet. So we're trying to extend it and make it up to code, what the code does require. So before we start with this whole project since July, I came to the planning department, and then they gave me a letter that was approved back in 1973 that we have to follow, some certain procedures in order to make this project happen. So we have pretty much almost 15 feet. So from one side it's going to be like 3'9" extended towards the front, and then the other side is about 4.5 feet or 5 feet extended, and pretty much we're trying to, make it looks beautiful. As you see, the area, it's very elegant, and then we're trying to build a value to the house and make it more elegant. However, some of our neighbors, they pretty much, the neighboring house has 10 feet, some of them they're 8 feet, some of them they're 6 feet, and the front property line, that's from the fence variance, was granted also. And pretty much it, trying to make this place looks more gorgeous and more beautiful, actually, to, keep everybody happy and satisfied. That's pretty much it.
So you want the property to just look gorgeous?
We're going to make it look beautiful and up to code 100%, ma'am. As you see, some of the other homes, they don't have a sign that it's been sitting outside or anything like that. A house before and a house after, matter of fact, we never receive any letter from the city that there is a hearing about their project or their construction, and then they are already in construction, and I'm not really sure. So
you want to turn in your neighbors?
No. I want to make my place
I
look
know.
really,
Why don't you
really.
concentrate on your issue and then focus on
Absolutely right.
what's the hardship beside the fact that you wanted to extend your entertainment area?
Well, the place is pretty old, the front railing, and it doesn't suit up that particular area. I mean, it's not the basin. We live up in a hill, and then the area, it's quite expensive. It's not cheap, so we want to make it looks gorgeous. It'll suit up with the rest of the houses on the street. So we want to make it look really, really beautiful and one of a kind if it's possible.
The white railing that you have now, you also have that on top of your
Balcony.
existing garage.
Yes.
You have like a deck on top of the garage, right?
Balcony.
Is that
Yeah.
that's a deck. Are you using that?
No, we're not using that. We're using the front.
No.
side.
Right now,
Yes.
above the garage, you have a deck or a balcony.
Yes.
Are you using that deck? Is that something that you're always using, or?
No.
Okay. So
We're using only the pretty much the
around the swimming pool.
around the swimming pool. Correct.
So the top of the garage is not
It's not pretty much useful except.
okay. Because I was wondering if you're not using it, maybe you can remove the railing on top of the garage
Make it suit up with
and
the
make
other.
it a little bit. Because right now, when you're driving by and you look at it, it's all railings. That's all I can see.
Right,
In
right.
front of your property is
Correct.
all railings.
Correct.
On top of everything, white really stands up. You know,
Right.
if you have a black or a dark green railing, sometimes they disappear and you don't really see all these railings. But that's your decision to make. So
No, it's gotta go. It has to go, ma'am. It has to go. It's gotta match with the rest of the railing in the front.
okay. Did you have any communication with any of your neighbors if they have any opposition or nothing?
Somebody offered me if I
within-
need any help in the city, to be honest with you. My next door neighbor, but they're happy of what we're doing. So
Okay.
yeah.
And let's say you got a permit, what other improvements are you thinking of doing?
In the front, well, pretty much right after when we start extending, remove the railing and all that, then we're gonna do the garden, the landscaping, the plants, the trees, and
And keep in mind, you need to do something with that portion of your stair
Yes.
that's on the city's
Yes.
encroachment or easement area. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's what you need to take care of first before you even do anything else. Because without that stair, you can't approach your property. So,
That's true.
and I need to also get a copy of whatever you're going to file with engineering for encroachment.
Okay.
Okay?
The stairway case right now, as you see, it's actually along the side. So if this is the front yard, this is the side, and then goes up this way. We try and pretty much to move it from here and then make it look like, start within 8 feet or 10 feet wide from the bottom and then goes up.
Yeah. But like I said, you're going to have to get approval, for that stairway.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
Thank you so much. I don't know. Do you have any question, Al? Any other
No, I
questions?
think I have enough. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
And
much.
seeing there's nobody else here to speak in support or in opposition, do you have any closing comments?
I'm looking forward for this project, ma'am. As soon as possible. Would be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead, take this case under submission, and close the public hearing at... Thank you.
Thank you.